Hello everybody, I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Danrvdtree2000 on Xbox Live, and it's time for once again to do some predictions, but this time it's WWE Survivor Series, and as you can see on the screen right there, it is the kickoff show between none other than Kalisto and the Cruiserweight Champion Enzo Amore. My God, this is gonna be a hell of a boring kickoff show match. But Smackdown vs. Raw, not in this match. It's 205 Live's finest. Well, I wouldn't think Kalisto is the finest, but no realness. Still, if I had to pick a winner, and if you haven't guessed already how this works, 1 second, I'm going to reveal what top I'm wearing. It is Samoa Joe top. That's right. But seriously, let's get back to this. If you don't know how it works, I pick people who I think is going to win, which is the people that WWE that has booked to win, and who I want to win, which is my own personal opinion. So let's get down to it. Who do I think is going to win this match? I want Enzo Amore. I think Enzo Amore is going to win. But I want Kalisto to win. It's a short and sweet one there. It's nothing special. But getting on to the main show. And we're back as Swiss Survivor Series will kick off. I will explain to you right now. Well, it's going to be Smackdown versus Raw. As champions versus champions. And on the Raw side, we've got The Miz. On SmackDown side, we've got Baron Corbin, Intercontinental Champion versus United States Champion. Baron Corbin versus The Miz. Not only am I going to predict the rest of the night of who's going to be the ultimate brand, but the ultimate of how it's going to flip-flop between SmackDown and Raw. They each get a point each. Somehow it'll be level at the end of the night. Whether it be a dominating Raw and then SmackDown picks up their victories or whatever. But at the end of the night, in the predictions, I will predict who is going to be the more superior brand. Now, who do I think is going to win? This one's a bit of a doozy. I think The Miz is going to win. But as much as I really want Baron Corbin to win, this one I don't think it'll be. I think The Miz will win. But hey, who knows what'll happen. It's got the Mr. Raj that'll be at ringside, I should presume. But yeah, this one's going to be pretty simple. So I will... I think it'll be Raw going 1-0 up on this one. And with that being said, going on to the next match. Okay, now, the next match. Now, we've got Raw versus SmackDown, and they've got it on the wrong side of the fucking one. Oh man, they got SmackDown on the right side, and you got Raw on the wrong side. They meant to be the opposite way around. Yeah, dumbasses. Oh well. Anyway, representing Raw, we got the Captain, Alicia Fox, we got Nia Jax, we got Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Asuka. And representing SmackDown, we got Carmella, Captain Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, Tamina, and there's one more woman that has to be replaced. As Charlotte won the SmackDown Women's Championship last week on SmackDown. Well, this past week on SmackDown Live. And she beat Natalya. Now, I'm going to have to make 2 separate predictions. Three predictions here, as it's the traditional 5. As I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted, okay, my predictions now are going to be the order of eliminations. Who's going to get the last pinfall? Who's going to win? And also the surprise pick for SmackDown Live. Now, go on the last what I just said. The last pick for SmackDown Live will, I think, it'll be Natalya, which is the most obvious choice. But I want it to be a NXT or rising star from the indie circuits. So an NXT woman. Yeah, so basically a woman from NXT. I know, because we just recently got Asuka and made her appearance on Raw, so why not bring up another women's NXT? I don't know any of them, to be honest, but only the ones that are on WWE 2K18. So, yeah, that would be interesting to say the least. So, next up is who's going to get the last pinfall. So, first of all, I would have to make who I think is going to win. Who do I think is going to be who's going to win? I would actually think that SmackDown's going to win this one because of the fact that it's too obvious for Monday Night Raw to win. See, just because that if it's any way that I think the way WWE's going to book the Miz match, they would make sure that SmackDown gets one back. However, I may be wrong there. As much as I want Team Raw to win, I don't think that's going to happen. So, who's going to get the pinfall victory? I think it'll be the captain, actually. I think she'll pin or submit maybe Bayley. Now, in order to keep the reputation of Asuka as an undefeated superstar in singles competition, she might get eliminated first. So, but like for Team Raw, getting eliminated first and overall, Camilla. So, yeah. If there are Raw, SmackDown women's matches later on in the night, it'll be a roll up for someone like Bayley or dominated by Nia Jax. So now, so first up, it'll be Carmella for SmackDown. Then I think it'll be Bayley or Alicia Fox. Then it'll be Tamina or Nia Jax. Then it'll be Sasha Banks, and maybe with Bayley and Asuka being the three remaining ones, eliminating Naomi. Then Becky Lynch will be on her own. She'll probably end up making Sasha Banks and Bayley tap out because they used to be friends. And then even Asuka to win, possibly by putting in the Asuka lock. That is my predictions of the actual winning situation. Even though I think it'll be SmackDown that they choose. That's the whole my predictions done for this match. I will have to move on to the next match because this. So yeah, there'll be a lone survivor. It won't be a team. I think Becky Lynch will be a lone survivor. Going on to the next match. Remember when I said that Carmella was going to get eliminated first in the SmackDown vs. Raw women's match? Well, according to this match card, this match, the Raw vs. SmackDown women's champion versus champion match is going to happen next. Who do I think is going to win? Charlotte. Just because she's just recently won the championship, and I wouldn't think that someone that's just won the championship will lose the match representing their brand. As much as I want Alexa Bliss to win, it will be interesting to see this matchup. I think Alexa Bliss will tap out in this one, but when she does lose, she'll probably attack Charlotte after the match, causing her to get injured, and then maybe I think they'll see a cash-in from Carmella. However, there is another little twist in the turn. Nobody has said in the WWE recently that Carmella has to cash in against Charlotte. What if she chooses, she's Miss Money in the Bank? What? And the Money in the Bank is not technically branded to SmackDown Live, even though they had it for SmackDown Live. What if they twist and swerve it, and she becomes the Raw Women's Champion by cashing in against Alexa Bliss? That's what I have wished to happen. Well, I'm coming down to my last minute of the first editing of this. So, that being said, I think it'll be Charlotte, but I want Little Miss Bliss. And we're back. What the hell? Okay. 3, 2, 1. And we're back. And, yeah, we got SmackDown versus Raw. Interesting dream match here. What would happen if the Shield wouldn't have broken up, and we would have seen the rise of the New Day? And what would have happened if those two would have collided? We're gonna find out. That's Survivor Series. Now this one's an interesting one, as if I could go on who I think is gonna win. Now, if this was like elimination style as well, to make things interesting, that would probably work. But no, I think it'll be the Shield, no doubt, because fine, I know I love the New Day, and I want the New Day to win, but it's gonna be the Shield. Like, this one's gonna go to Raw, I'm afraid. So yeah, I don't think the New Day are gonna stand a chance, because they got the power of Roman Reigns. You got the technical ability of Seth Rollins, and you just got Dean Ambrose. Former world champions in their own rights. I mean, yeah, you got Kofi Kingston with the more title reigns than all three members of the New Day combined. Because, Xavier. Huh. Apart from the tag team. Huh. Is he one that... He hasn't won any singles titles, as far as I can remember. I know Big E's won the Intercontinental Championship and possibly the United States Championship, but... Anyway, with that being said, yeah, that's pretty much easy for me. I want the New Day, but I think it's gonna be the Shield. Believe that. Well, we've got well, they don't just set the bar. They are the bar. And they're also the Raw Tag Team Champions. Well, and they're gonna be going up against the Usos. When they say Us, we don't say oh, because they're bad guys taking on bad guys. This is not making any sense. But it's SmackDown versus Raw, champions versus champions, and just look at all that silverware. Literally, because they weren't wearing their waists. But seriously, who do I think is going to win this one? This is going to be interesting. But I think it'll be the Usos. And guess what? I actually want the Bar to win this one, surprisingly, because I actually like Cesaro and Sheamus. They're pretty tough and brutal. I don't necessarily like the Usos that much, but hey, I think they're going to get the win just because it'll level up the playing field a bit. But hey, it's the Bar. So, they don't just set the bar, they are the bar, and they're going to win. Well, I hope so anyway. But, I think the Usos want Cesaro and Sheamus. The Bar! Next match. Well, this is the match I thought they were going to do last. But, obviously, by the looks of it, no, they're not. Wait, again, it's the opposite way around. For God's sakes, you idiots. Anyway, on one side we got Team Raw. On the other side we got Team SmackDown. Now, again, I'm going to go on eliminations last man standing. Again, this is all eliminations and last man standing are what I want to happen. Pretty much, but who do I think and who I want to win as well? I think it'll be Team Smackdown, but I want Team Raw. Now, again, the reason I want Team Raw is because I want Kurt Angle to still be general manager of Monday Night Raw. So, and they've actually got the better firepower than SmackDown have. But the reason I think SmackDown is because of all the way it's been built. And I don't want it just to be shattered by Kurt Angle, because, you know, they fired the first shots, and they're going to fire the last ones too. Now, I think that it'll be Shane McMahon, that this is how it's going to go when it comes to eliminations. Now, this is going to be a tough call to make. First to get eliminated for Raw, not necessarily in Andy's, there's no particular order, but to get eliminated first for Raw, I think there will be elimination for Raw. I don't think it'll be a completely whitewash. I will think that Raw will get at least one elimination. That'll be Finn Balor. Don't ask me why, I just think that. If they're gonna do a battle where they get elimination, and they don't have 3 remaining survivors, but I think the last 3 remaining survivors for Team Raw, if I was to hope that they win, will be Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, and Triple H. But if I had to pick 3, or maybe 3 remaining superstars, or maybe even all 5 possibly, but if I'm going to choose an elimination for SmackDown, it will be a Bobby Roode. But the next elimination for Raw, if they're going to go that way, then I would pick Braun Strowman. Why? Because he's the bigger man and they probably hit all their finishes and whatnot and do anything to eliminate Braun Strowman. Up next for Team SmackDown, strangely, will be elected captain. I think that up next after Bobby Roode will be Shane McMahon. Because I won't get rid of Shinsuke Nakamura that easily, and the same with Randy Orton. So if I'm going to go through eliminations, even though there'll probably be a 3-on-3, or, you know, you don't know how it's going to work. So this is just my predictions for eliminations. Up next, eliminations for Raw will be Samoa Joe, leaving Kurt Angle and Triple H as the last remaining survivors for Team Raw. But I'll get to that. Next up, SmackDown, Shinsuke Nakamura, leaving John Cena and Randy Orton together to work together as a community. Then the SmackDown, I think, will lose John Cena, because it'll be a shocking, change that, Randy Orton, because leaving John Cena. However, if Shane McMahon is still in the ring at this point, which, again, nothing to do with, I think it will be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn that will cost Team SmackDown the victory to Raw. Because I think they will take out John Cena or something will happen, leaving Shane McMahon to defend himself against Triple H and Kurt Angle. But hey, I think somehow I won't be able to trust Triple H, and he'll get himself disqualified and eliminated from the match, leaving Kurt Angle to, pick up the victory. I don't know, it's gonna be hard to make, but yeah, as I said, I think it will be Team SmackDown regardless, winning this matchup, and I want Team Raw to win this one. And what do you guys think? Do you think it'll be Team Raw winning the entire way through? Do you think it'll be Team SmackDown winning all the way through? Or do you think it'll be a tie until the end? What do you think is going to happen at Survivor Series? Is it going to be one of the greatest of all time? or like meh, or just like shit. Personally, I think it's gonna be really good. I can't wait for this match. But hang on a minute, Daniel, why are you finishing up so soon? There's one more match. Oh yeah, the champion versus champion. Well, Brock Lesnar was in the main event of Survivor Series last year, and he's in the main event of the Survivor Series this year as champion versus champion. Brock Lesnar representing Raw as the Universal Champion versus AJ Styles representing SmackDown as their champion. I have no clue who's gonna come out victorious, but if I had to pick, I would have to say, I think Brock Lesnar, but I want AJ Styles. Because you don't want none, you don't want none, you don't want none. Yeah, that's right. I think he'll be clever enough to perform a phenomenal forearm, but then he might just get caught and F5'd and suplexed all over the place. So, yeah, I think that Brock Lesnar's gonna win, and I want AJ Styles to win. I tricked you earlier with the early exit because that Survivor Series matchup should have actually ended the night. But no, we're gonna end the night with champion versus champion. Why? Here's why. Sorry, had to get that in there. But seriously, as I said now, about 2 seconds ago, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will enjoy Survivor Series as much as I do. Let me know in the comments below who you think is going to win, and if you, until next time, and until Survivor Series reaction and review, I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Dan2010 on Xbox Live. Until next time, bye bye! Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to watch the previous video, click on the video on the left. But if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the video on the right. Also, feel free to click subscribe by clicking on the Master Chief icon on the top.